Alright, boys, we got a market recap today for Friday, February 13th. And like I said in yesterday's video, playing defense after having a good week, and that saved me today. We'll go over what my current thought process, or what my thought process was while this was playing out. And even right here when we pull back to this 5 minute, I'll go over it. But playing defense to end the week, having that defensive mindset, it really saved me today on this Friday. This kind of price action is something that I would normally get chopped up in. This just looks like puke, throw up. This looks disgusting. So with that being said, though, I thought coming into the morning, let me just pull up my bias here. I thought coming into the morning we would actually get pretty good movement. This is what the charts looked like coming into the market open. I thought, hey, pretty simple bias. We're either going to go tap the 4-hour bearish fair value gap and then go lower, or we might just sell off and go lower right when the market opened. And then when the market opened, we eventually started to make our way down and potentially just start to sell off here. So it looked like we were probably going to get provided with good opportunity early on coming into the market open and early on into the market open because, well, we can just compare, right? At one point in time, this is what the 5-minute chart looked like. First 5-minute candle, second 5-minute candle, the third 5-minute candle, or about 15 minutes into market open, we're starting to, it looks pretty bearish here. It looks like we're going to start to make our way and displace lower and attack this sell side down here. And I said, I'm game for shorts if the 5-minute breaks out of this range. And that's the thing that saved me this morning is, okay, realizing we have a draw on liquidity higher and lower. So what do we need to do? We need to break out of this range that we were currently in to confirm whether or not we're going to go lower here. In my opinion, this draw on liquidity isn't confirmed to lower until we actually sufficiently break out of this range below these swing lows here. If we do that, it's like, okay, we're for sure coming down to this low. I can be very aggressive with my entries. And that didn't happen. You can see we come down and put in a very bullish 5-minute wick. And then after this first 5-minute candle, or after this 5-minute candle closes up, we start to displace higher. I'm like, okay, bet. I just want to see us close above this swing high, and then I can, look for a pullback and then to execute to that 4-hour fair value gap, because that's the only thing that makes sense, especially after rejecting these lows very hard. Come to the 5-minute, what do? We come up and we wick it. We come up and have a very ugly, disgusting 5-minute candle close. 5-minute candle closes like that, you don't want to be longing. And so we just never sufficiently broke out of this range until an hour into market open. So this saved me on both sides. Some of my bad trades in the past, and this is very similar to the loss that I took. It's just wicking out the internal high, not sufficiently displacing past it. I've had so many losses where I top blast here. Top blast is this displacement, expecting us to just move to the draw liquidity higher when it's not confirmed. We never closed above these internal highs. And what do? We come back down. That trade, something like that, would have gotten stopped out. And so the biggest thing is zooming out to the 5-minute, waiting for it to pick a side and sufficiently confirm either draw liquidity. Another thing, if we chop around like this for the first hour of the market open, how in the world are you going to be able to trust price action even if it does break out? And that's exactly what happened just now. The first hour of market open should be the most volatile, the most efficiently moving price action of the morning, of the trading day. And if we're going to sit here in this range and not go anywhere, why would you trust anything after that? So we eventually, an hour after market opens, an hour after just chopping around and edging both the highs and the lows, we actually get 2 nice 5-minute closes out of this. And, to the blind eye, it looks like we're coming to this high up here in this 4-hour fair value gap. This is our high time frame drawn liquidity. And I'm not going to lie, man. I had a limit order placed on this 5-minute fair value gap when price is up here, started to move higher. And I took it off. And thank goodness I took it off, because it's one of those things. I keep saying, trust your market intuition. My market intuition is telling me, if we started to sell off very fast, I'm like, hell no. I took that limit order off so fast, and I'm so glad I did, because why are we selling off here? Why am I going to trust anything that happens after this chop? Like I said, it's so easy to just, it would have been so easy to just take a trade and in a sense pattern trade this because of this 5-minute fair value gap. Oh, we've displaced 5-minute fair value gap, we have a drawn liquidity lower, but that's not taking into consideration the market conditions. We've already chopped for an hour, edged the highs and lows. Also, look how strong this sell-off is, this sell-off candle into this fair value gap. Also, at this point in time, why are we not just going to go tap the 4-hour fair value gap, which is a whopping 13 points away? Why do we not just go tap it here instead of selling off 90 points very hard to this 5-minute fair value gap? It was very, very sketchy. So glad I took it off. And the biggest takeaway is that the 5-minute chart saves you. The 5-minute chart can save you as a trader. If you're too zoomed in, getting chopped up, just zoom out. Just zoom out and wait for that displacement out of the range. And if the 5-minute starts to chop for an hour straight when the market opens, it's going to be a low probability day. And I was already in the mindset of playing defense this morning. So now, for example, if this 5-minute move happened after rejecting the lows and we just continued that trend, bet I'm slapping on along at that 5-minute fair value gap, not even questioning whether or not it's going to play out. And if it doesn't, oh well, that's a good statistical loss. But after we do this, man, you just cannot. I don't even know why I'm not locked out yet. After we do this for the first hour and the 5-minute chart looks like this, you just got to lock yourself out. And that's something I'm still improving on, because in reality, I shouldn't have even still been on the charts. I knew it in the back of my head and in my chest. I knew it. Like, I'm not going to get a good trade. So that's something I've still got to improve on, but I can also pat myself on the back for not actually executing and taking a trade. So, yeah, man, that's the market recap. A bit of a sophisticated one. Hopefully you were able to stay safe and realize the chop, and not take a loss at least. So either you took a break even or you didn't take a trade at all. Hopefully you were able to avoid a loss. And like I said, it looked like right off the market open, we were going to get efficient moves down, displace, retrace, and come and take these hourly lows down here, because that was my main objective for the day. But it's a Friday, like I said. Already had a good week. Fridays are either really, really good or they chop around and do some nonsense like this. And this is where a lot of traders just give back their profits. They give back such a disciplined, hard-earned week on Friday chop where the market is just not doing anything. And these market conditions are what eat up break-even traders. And this is what has eaten me up a lot in the past. But today was able to recognize it and not take a trade. And that's the biggest thing. Can I do better at just completely stepping away? Yeah, I can. And that's something I'm going to be working on in the future. But I can, like I said, I can also applaud myself for not actually taking a trade today. And I still did preserve capital, realize the conditions, and also like I've said in the past, there's going to be one to two guaranteed, pretty much 1 to 2 days where the market just moves efficiently every single week, maybe 3. And we've kind of already had 3 of those days so far this week. The only day I did not take a trade was Tuesday, I believe. So I took a win Monday, loss Wednesday, and a win Thursday. There's already been 3 days this week where the market has actually moved very efficiently, providing good opportunity. So like the odds are already not in the favor of having another day to end the week on a Friday of efficiently moving price action. I hope that makes sense. But that's also another good way to think about it. There's going to be usually 2 to 3 days where the market moves efficiently throughout a trading week. And so identifying and executing on those efficiently moving days is the key. That's when you want to be playing offense. And on the other days where the market looks like this and we chop around like this is when you want to be playing defense. Also, you just want to be coming into the Friday playing defense if you've already had a good week. So that's the market recap. Yeah, man, just I don't want to get too into the logistics of things in terms of payouts and stuff, but as long as I just keep following my rules, do what I've done the past few weeks, one more good week of trading, and the market is just going to the market will reward me for following my rules and staying disciplined. And that's really all I need to focus on, is just executing well. If you execute well, follow your rules, stay disciplined within the markets, then the profits and the rewards will just come as a byproduct, as long as I'm just hammering home the inputs that I know I need to be performing on a day-to-day basis coming into the market. And so that's just my mindset. And so, yeah, man. Very happy with how I've executed these past 2 weeks, and very happy with how my mental has been and how I've executed since starting these videos again. It's really, really helped me, and I'm hoping that it can also give you value if you're watching this video, whether that's if you're struggling, if you're, I don't know, hopefully you can relate to me. Because making these videos has helped me, and I'm hoping it's helping the viewer out as well. But with that being said, going to enjoy the weekend, take time off the charts, not think about candlesticks, just enjoy life, and then come back on Monday with a fresh mindset, and just focus on executing properly, and then the results will just come as a byproduct. So that's the market recap today. I appreciate you watching, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.